Gordon, before we deal with Celtic, Scottish football, how do you take to the Premier League's proposals to play games abroad?
If I had any enthusiasm for that at all, I'd answer your question, but I've absolutely none whatsoever. I'm sorry, but I've no enthusiasm for that question whatsoever. I'm sure that in a lot of places it'll be highly debatable, but I'm not getting a second thought, to be honest with you. I'm more worried about my coat, to be honest with you. Feeling a bit better.
But just to persist with it for a moment, you played in that league. As a player, how would you have reacted, do you think, to be asked to be going to places like Sydney or Singapore?
It's quite simple. I'm a player. I do what the club tell me to do.
How is Archibald?
He's fine. Yeah.
The groin injury, is there any more news on it?
Didn't report it this morning.
So there's no problem with him at all? You're not worried about him for Sunday?
He's not reported an injury. So I can't be any clearer than that. He's not reported an injury. He's not been, and he trained all day today. So he's fine as far as we're concerned, you know.
Any other problems from the international guys?
No, not at all. I think they're all feeling quite good, you know, because I think most of them got good results. Aidan's team was on a losing side, but he played well. I watched the game. He did well. So I think they're all coming back in good spirits, you know. I think Jan's team got a great result like Croatia, you know. He scored as well, and the Poles won. Greeks won. Well, one of the games. So they're feeling decent about themselves, I think.
Andreas Hinkle, how's he progressing?
He's fine. He trained all week. He's fine. He's trained all week.
You mentioned Jan there, a good performance for the Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of comment last week, of course, about Jan's performance against Kilmarnock, the feeling that there are people now pressing for places in the side. Is that something you've detected in training, that there's a renewed competition?
Well, I think new players come in to help players, that's for sure. Helps the workload, new players coming in. I think also when new players come in, the other players want to show them how good they are. But it's always nice to have competition, that's for sure, and we've got a good squad. I'm right pleased to be working with this squad now, and it looks healthy.
Do you feel there's been a bigger lift from the January influx of players than there was from the summer?
I don't know, I really couldn't tell you. I hope so. But we got a good start to the season, you know. We weren't too happy with the start of the season. It was just December was a bad month for us, and hopefully we've got over that, and we're starting to play some decent football and winning football.
With more options, Gordon, do you make many changes from a team that played well and won 5-1 last week?
They played very well, yeah. But I'm not a man for chopping and changing 5 or 6 players at a time anyway. You know, there's 1 or 2 changes. That usually that's about it, to be honest with you. And as I said, that Naki wasn't going to play against Motherwell because of conditions. And it was unfair on young, probably unfair on young Snow, because he was going to play and he got left out for the Kilmarnock game, but it was conditions, and I hope we've got a squad now that, you know, hope the conditions are good enough that we can, in our mind when we set out to win a game, that we've got to play football. But sometimes you have to just say, well, you need to win the ball, and I hope we can do both. But I'm hoping for the first option all the time, that the surface has got to get a wee bit better.
Are you more hopeful, happier as a manager when you look at the players you have now?
I'm pleased. I'm pleased with the squad I've got, yeah.
Can I ask you about Koke Mizuno? Is he going to be away to these East Asian Championships?
You keep throwing these things on me every week, and I don't know if they're going or no, or what have you. I really couldn't tell you, but he's been a great impression on the coaches and players in this first week. Been absolutely superb. So that's a bonus, but I think he will, like most of the players, would have to take a wee while to get used to this league, the conditions, the weather. But he's been fantastic this week, absolutely fantastic.
Gordon Barry Robson's eligible for the game. Is he likely to be in the squad?
Oh, you'll see him, yeah, he'll be changed.
Because he's obviously scored 2 goals for Dundee United not that long ago against that.
Yeah,
so you might not be wanting to see him again.
No, I wouldn't imagine so, but we're glad he's here, and again, we're delighted we've got another good player here, and he's apart from his goals, he's got an aggressive side to his game, and energy he's got to the game. I'm sure that'll help us in the future.
When you're speaking of Barry left Dundee United. People thought he would be a substantial loss, which he was, and yet there was a considerable margin of victory for them over Aberdeen, whom you're now playing. Did that surprise you?
Scoreline?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially without Robson.
That's not been disrespectful of Dundee United. I'm an admirer of Jimmy Calderwood and his players. So that does surprise me, yeah.
Expect a bit of a reaction from the Aberdeen players taking a solo during the week.
Don't know. I couldn't tell you. I find it easier to deal with, my team than anybody else's team. Matter of fact, it's not actually easy dealing with my team and answering questions about my team, but it's even harder to try and deal with questions about somebody else's team. So I really don't know.
Your last game up at Pittodrie is a bit of an eventful one. Do you think there's a bit of an edge to the Aberdeen Celtic clashes these days?
There's an edge to every Celtic game, I'm afraid. Or, not afraid, but I just know it's there because players and players especially just seem to, and fans seem to get extra energy out of playing against Celtic. I don't know where it comes from, but it seems to come from somewhere we have to deal with every week. So I would imagine a 100% performance by Aberdeen. I expect no less, and that's what we usually get from every team we play against.
You've got an excellent record, Aberdeen. I think the last time we beat you was 2001 at Pittodrie, Gordon, and they've had a wee form dip, and Celtic have been in excellent form lately, so I knew you were going to say you'd expect that to continue to work.
I think we got a warning last year when we were playing well and we're walking away with the league, and Falkirk got 9 defeats in the trot and we got beat 1-0 at Falkirk, so that stays in the back of mind. Horrible days like that kind of stay in the back of your mind.
Go forward a wee bit. I know there's not an awful lot of games still to be played. Games have been put off. But you've got 2 games coming up against Barcelona in the Champions League. As a club, would you be looking at the possibility of having your league games put off before those games?
I don't think so. We'd end up playing in June, I think.
No,
I don't think so. As long as we don't get too many injuries, we feel we're going to try and handle that. So we'll not be asking for any time off. No, I don't think the SFA would like that, or the Premier League.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thanks everybody. Thank you.